Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you very much for coming. We are so excited to have Brandon Barnum here. He is the CEO of HOA.com. And I have to say, I don't know that I've met someone with so much energy and what a great group he has. He is the referral guru, and he has this visionary, well, he is already a leader, but he has this vision, which I just find really incredible. I think it's going to help millions of people. And so I invited him on to come and speak about what he's going to do, how he's going to do it, and maybe you guys would be interested for yourselves. So he's got this great philosophy. He's a one of those touchy feely people. And he's got this huge tech background, which I think is what's going to make his company super, super successful. So I'm really happy to have you here, Brandon. Please take it away.
Oh, beautiful. Well, Peggy, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure and honor to join you all. And I'd really love, because I believe you guys are all real estate investors. Is that right? And
Pretty
so
much.
a different audience that I'm normally speaking to at HOA.com, we help professionals get connected to homeowners, right? That's really what the play at HOA.com is. I often describe it as home advisor meets BNI, if you're familiar with BNI. So home advisor being connecting homeowners to professionals they can trust, BNI being the part where we're helping the pros who serve homeowners connect and build strong relationships. That's the world that I come from. So I'd love to see in the chat, if you would, just put in what your number one biggest challenge that you're facing in your business right now so that I can kind of customize this conversation. Because as I was thinking about what would I bring to real estate investors, it's such a different conversation than the one that I'm normally sharing. So if you would just put that in chat, I'd love to, or even just share if you want. I'd love to hear kind of the things that you guys are facing. And then what I plan to do is share some tips on how you build referrals. As Peggy mentioned, that's what I'm all about. This is my book, Raving Referrals. I got started back in the mortgage business when I was in my 20s. I found out in college that you don't have to be married to have a child. And I found that out when I was 22, and by 24, I was a single dad. I had custody of my, at that point, 2-year-old son, and I was working, I had graduated from marketing school, Portland State University up in Portland, Oregon, and I was working as a marketing director for an estate planning law firm. And once I got custody of my son, I couldn't pay for my mortgage and for daycare, and I found that out because the mortgage company informed me by sending my mortgage check back with NSF written on it, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, this isn't working. I've got to make a change here. And so I got into the mortgage business myself, and really I had somebody that mentored me in the art and science of building referral partnerships. And so I spent 12 years. I love it, Fernando. Thank you. I love that you're looking for referrals. That's helpful. I spent 12 years in that business and did over $500 million in transactions and really learned that art and the science of generating referrals. And that's really what I'm passionate about, is helping people to attract raving referrals for their business, whatever business they're in, and really take their business to a next level. Now, I have to tell you, since you guys are real estate investors, I actually started in '97 and I created online real estate listings. Right now, back then, how many of you guys were in the real estate business in 1997? Show of hands. Peggy was. Peggy's the only one. Okay. So back then, half of the real estate companies didn't have a website at all, or if they had a website, they weren't showing properties online, right? If they did have a listing online, they had one exterior photo and that was it. And I thought, this is silly. I just come out of marketing school and they taught us look at the future and build what the people want to see. And I said, well, I want to be able to sit at home in my boxers and shop for real estate, right? And nowadays we do it, of course, it's just standard. But back in 1997, not so much. So as I was starting out my mortgage business and listening to all these different professionals talk about how they're getting their business, it was all coming by referral. But my marketing professor said, look, you've got to look with new eyes and you've got to see the future and then build it. And so I said, this just makes sense. Let's put these listings online. And then what I did is I drove around Portland and I found listings that were on busy streets. And I took the flyer and I called up the realtor and I said, I'd like to feature your home on pdxhome.com, which is the website back then. Now, any guesses why I chose properties on busy streets?
They sell faster.
Do they?
Everybody sees them.
Yes, that's the number one answer. If this is Family Feud, Peggy, you just got the number one. Ding, 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 ding.
What was the answer again?
Everyone sees them, the visibility. Right?
Yeah.
Because what I did is on the bottom of that for sale sign, I had a little rider sign, right? It said, view this home at pdxhome.com. Now, the realtors use that to distinguish themselves and to win listings. Because once they realized, whoa, now I can say to a potential seller, not only am I going to put your home on RMLS, but I'm also going to get it featured on the Portland Online Real Estate Guide, right? And so that's what we did. It helped build my business. I took my income from $20,000 a year to $200,000 a year in about 18 months. And that really whet my appetite for tech. Thank you. Thank you. As a single dad, that made all the difference to me and my son. And I should say, my wife and I, my current wife, only wife for life, have been together since he was 1. We're celebrating our 25th anniversary in September. So he's always known her. She's been in his life the entire time. But that was a transformation for me. So what I want to teach you today is some of the basics on getting raving referrals. And then I also want to teach you about Bank, which is a personality system. How many of you guys have heard about Bank Code? A couple of you. Okay, awesome. If I only had one thing I could teach, it would be this. It would be this personality system, because this literally changes the way that you see humanity. But we'll get into that in a second. So over the last 25 years since I got into the mortgage business, I have built 8 different web platforms, HOA.com being the 8th. My last platform was called refer.com, and we built that up to the world's largest referral network, over 5 million members, and we had 250,000 realtors before we exited that in 2019. So I've been playing in this space. After that exit, after my non-compete was up, we started this company actually as thehomeowneralliance.com, if you can believe that. And we started by finding home buyers and referring those to realtors and then earning a percentage of the real estate commission. Okay, so it was a straight real estate referral play when we started this company. What we realized is realtors were happy to receive the leads. What they weren't happy to do was actually call the leads that we were generating. And we were generating like 1,500 buyers a month here in Phoenix, where I live. But there were very few transactions because the realtors wouldn't pick up the phone. Now, the reality is we were earning a nice percentage. We were earning 35% of the commission on the referral fee.
Huge.
And there's a lot of folks that play in that same space and percentage wise. But I think that was probably part of the reason why realtors wouldn't play. Now, what we've done since is we acquired the domain HOA.com about 2 years ago. So all of you are sitting here thinking, okay, this is for homeowner associations, right? Is everybody thinking that? There's got to be for HOAs. Yeah. Well, it will be. It will be. And I'll share a little bit with you. I want to teach you about referrals, and then I want to show you a little bit about what we're building at HOA.com. We're absolutely creating community portal pages for every homeowner association and, quite frankly, neighborhood in America. That's what we're building, but we're doing it so that we can serve the homeowners and connect them with professionals they can trust. We make our money through the pros. Pros pay $30 a month to be a member of our network. We do background checks. We vet them to make sure that we've got 4- and 5-star rated companies that are certified pros in our network, and that's how we make our money, right? But I want to start with the referral side of the business, and let me just get you, here we go. Great, cool. So I wrote the book Raving Referrals, and grateful that it was a #1 bestseller, and we launched that in November of last year. So if you're interested as we go through this and you'd love to learn more, it's a great book and there's tons of resources. But at the core, the reason that this is so important is because referrals work. And you guys all know it, but I just want to start by giving you a few facts. Number one, people are 400% more likely to buy from you when they are referred to you. Why do you think that is? Just go ahead and say it out loud.
They like, know, and trust you. The
That
person
is
that
it.
referred.
When you can leverage a pre-existing relationship.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. And what's that pre-existing relationship all about? It's the trust factor, right?
That's right.
Exactly what Peggy said. They trust you. So when they trust you, then they're more likely to refer you. 90% of people say they trust recommendations from people they know. This is human nature. This is how we work, right? The beautiful thing is, and you guys as investors should key in on this, when clients are referred to you, they're 16% more profitable than non-referred clients. So when you're investing in businesses, make sure you're investing in businesses that have a referral system in place, because those clients are more loyal, they buy more, they stay with you, and they refer others to you more often. Now, this stat blew my mind. In the B2B world, 84% of business-to-business sales start with a referral. So if you're selling something in the enterprise world, you better have somebody opening that back door for you, because trying to get through a gatekeeper just isn't happening, right? Now, there's 7 laws of raving referrals, and we're going to go through this pretty quickly because most of this you're already going to recognize and know internally, but this is the core, right? Number 1, referrals start with trust. You've got to have that trust factor in place if you want to get more business, if you want to get more referrals. Everybody know Bob Berg, the go-giver?
Yep.
Yep. Love Bob Berg. And it's such a great quote. All things being equal, people do business with and refer business to people they know, like, and trust. And that's the name of the game when it comes to referrals. But the way that you get referrals is actually to give referrals and to give as much value to the people in your life as possible. When I started out with that pdxhome.com, I approached realtors saying, hey, I've got a gift for you. I'd like to feature your property at pdxhome.com. And giving is that key that deepens the relationship and it unlocks referrals. What was so cool about having that website is I, as the mortgage lender, started attracting buyers. They'd fill out my form on pdxhome.com, and then I could give that referral to a realtor. I remember I had one buyer I gave to a realtor. The realtor got his transaction. In order to buy, he had to sell his home. So she got his listing, and he also was buying another property. So that realtor made $51,000 in commissions from one referral that I gave her. Do you think she was loyal to me from that point on? Absolutely. So start by giving. No matter what you're doing, give, and build relationships, because relationships trigger transactions. Anyone know Jeffrey Gitomer?
Know the name.
I've had the pleasure of having breakfast with this guy twice, and he cracks me up. He's got the #1 best-selling book on sales, which is the little red book on sales. That's what it's called. That's the #1 book on sales. He says, all things being equal, people want to do business with their friends. And I shouldn't out him. I'm going to. I'll tell you what, I've never sat with somebody at breakfast and heard more F-bombs in my life, but he is just true to the core of who he is, and a brilliant, brilliant trainer. Now, the 4th law is that stellar service creates stellar success, right? When you make a difference for somebody, then they are going to appreciate you and tell everybody they can about you, right? So #1, listen intently. Really understand what people care about. What are they out to achieve? Once you understand that, then you've got to communicate clearly. You really have to take time to be able to present what you do, who you are, and how you help in a way that makes sense to them, that's logical. Now, you also need to not only just meet expectations, but exceed them. This is the wow factor. when you can make a difference in somebody like that realtor, when I gave her that buyer that turned into $51,000 in commissions, that exceeded her wildest dreams of our relationship, and we did business for years and years after that. Now, I teach this to the home service pros, right? The painter, the plumber, the HVAC. Be on time and be on budget. And you guys probably hire, well, you use Peggy's investment, so you don't have to do the actual management yourself. But if you've got properties yourself, you want pros that are on time and on budget, right? And then lastly, always be in integrity. Everything that you say needs to be the truth in every aspect and facet. That's how people start to know you, like you, and really trust you. Now, law number 5, delighted clients refer delightful clients. And guys, we know this, right, through the law of attraction. When we take care of people and do an amazing job, they're going to be thrilled, and they're going to bring other people that are just like them. So if you get complainers, run away. Sometimes you just need to fire those people as clients or partners in some cases, because you're going to attract the energy that you're putting out there. So when you make a difference to somebody and wow them with what you do, they're going to not only refer you like crazy, but stay with you for years to come. Law number 6 is the fortunes in the follow-up. Anybody in sales or been in sales? Probably not anymore, but probably in the past, right? Well, if you're not following up with people, then they're doing business with somebody else. And you may have seen this before, but this blew me away when I did the research. A study at Notre Dame said 44% of all salespeople quit calling after the first call, right? Insane, especially when you think about how much time, energy, and money people spend to attract prospects to their business. 24% quit after the second call, 14% after the third call, 12% after that fourth call. So 94% of all salespeople quit after the fourth call, but 60% of sales are made after that fourth call. Right? So again, if you're investing in businesses, make sure that they're following up and following through. And my team all knows that the fortune's in the follow-up. I had one of my guys yesterday that just brought on a new pro, and he said, yep, that was the 5th call. He says, he texts me in Slack, the fortune's in the follow-up. Right? And then law number 7, everyone wins or no one wins. Everything that you do should be, what we teach is win, win, win. And that means that everyone is impacted at the same time. Now, at the beginning, I told you if I had one thing to teach, it would be bank. And the reason is because it totally changes the way that you view things. Tony Robbins says, let your prospect determine your presentation. Now, this comes out of the book, Why They Buy. And at full disclosure, after I sold Refer.com, I was sitting on the sidelines. I met with Sherry Tree, the founder of this program, and she asked me to come on board and join her executive team. And so I was the first CEO of her technology company, which is called Codebreaker Technologies. I don't have anything to do with this other than I do have a separate company, which is a training coaching company. But the reason I'm so passionate about this is not only that it helps you close more sales in less time, but it's really instant empathy. And what I mean by that is not only can you increase sales conversions like we talked about, but once you understand how people are wired, then you can serve them more effectively and really connect with them on a deep level. And it builds rapport faster than anything I've ever seen. Okay, so there's 4 different bank codes. Now, any of you guys taken DISC or Myers-Briggs or any of those personality systems? Yeah, right? And they tell you a lot about yourself. Now, what this does is it's really fascinating to understand who you are and how you're wired. And there's 4 different personality styles. The first one is called Blueprint, and BANK is actually an acronym. Let me back that up and show you. BANK is an acronym. It stands for Blueprint, Action, Nurturing, Knowledge. BANK. Okay? Now, with the Blueprint, people that are primarily Blueprint personalities, and you're all 4 of these, the question is, what are you first and foremost? My wife is a blueprint. She is the most organized woman that I know. She loves stability, structure, systems. She plans out our vacation, and literally, I don't even know where we're going or what we're doing. I did know on this last vacation we just went on, we were in St. Thomas, and we were staying at the Ritz-Carlton, and I knew that because she had won a trip for her company and they were putting us up. Normally, I have no idea any of the details because she's got it all mapped out. She's got reservations made at every restaurant we're going to go to. She's got tickets purchased for the shows or the museums or whatever we're doing, right? She's just got it all planned out. So the blueprint personalities are your planners. They love the process, predictability. And when you say these words to somebody that's high blueprint, they feel good inside, right? You're really creating that limbic response where they just feel like you're making a difference and you understand them. So responsibility, duty, rules, credentials, titles, tradition. Anybody have any ideas of like what kind of personality or profession, I should say, would be a blueprint? What type of workers would be a blueprint? Engineer?
Accountant, CPA.
Accountant, CPA. Yeah, we're going to come back to engineer. That's a really good guess. When I show you knowledge, you'll understand why it's they're probably high in blueprint, but knowledge is really what they love. CPA is a great idea. Yes, absolutely. And service, right? People that are servants. So you want to hire blueprints to manage your office, to manage your accounting, for example, because they take care of all the little details. Okay? Totally different than your action personality. Your action personality is netted out. They're going to talk fast like I'm talking now, right? They're all about the freedom, the flexibility, the spontaneity. They love the spotlight. They drink Red Bull for breakfast, and they love being on the red carpet where everybody's looking at them and feeling like they're the star, okay?
That's funny.
You're cracking up, huh? Because it's true, and you're going to see some truth in you, and after I'm going to give you a link, and you can actually crack your own code is what they call it, and you'll get a report, and you can see exactly where you stand in these. But the action personality, if you give them too many details, you are going to kill a sale. Like if you're trying to sell to them, they're not going to be about it, right? Even if you're just in a conversation, if you're telling too many details, they're out. You're going to lose their attention. Okay?
I want the bottom line.
Net it out, right? Right, Peggy?
Yep.
Just net it out. Help me understand what it's all about. Don't give me too many details. Just help me how I've got understand how I'm going to win big fast. Make sense? Cool. All right. Next, we've got the nurturing personalities. Now, I'll tell you, when it comes to the bank code, I'm a 25 out of 25 when it comes to nurturing. I'm 24 out of 25 when it comes to action. So for me, it's all about people. If it doesn't make a difference to people, I'm not playing that game. My personal mission is to inspire, uplift, and empower every person on the planet. That's the game I've been playing since 2004 when Mark Victor Hansen, Chicken Soup for the Soul, took me under his wing and really helped me re-engineer my life and focus on what it is that I want to, be remembered for. What's the legacy that you're leaving? So for me, I'm a high nurturing. You know these types of people, right? They love being in conversation. My wife is amazed because I'll be on the phone 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. I'll have 2-3 hours of phone calls. So she's like, I don't know anybody that likes to be on the phone like you do. But I'm just happy to help and to serve. I love community, charity, right? We have a whole chapter in Raving Referrals about being a charity champion, and I'm on a mission for every business owner and every professional to incorporate cause and charities into whatever they're doing, into their business, and share it with the world. Okay, so a nurturing personality, smiles all the time like I do. People are like, you smile too much. I'm like, maybe you don't smile enough. I'm just saying. But it's all about contribution and making a difference. And then lastly, we've got the knowledge personalities, right? And some of you are probably high knowledge because to be an investor means that you're thoughtful, that you take time to actually plan, save, and really understand the systems, but moreover, how you can make a bigger impact and really understand how things work on a granular level, right? So knowledge personalities love to learn, love to read, they love to study, they want to understand how the universe works, how technology works. These are the people that are driving the Teslas, right? They were the early ones that were buying the Teslas. High Action would buy Teslas too, because they wanted to be seen as having the latest and greatest, but the knowledge personalities love it because of the science, right? Because of the technology behind it. So a knowledge personality is someone that's going to be really thoughtful. And when it comes to doing business with a knowledge, any ideas how long it takes on average for you to close a knowledge personality type? Any guesses? Would you say years?
Long time.
Long time? Totally. I say the answer is 4. Forever, just like Peggy said, right? Don't ever try and pressure a knowledge personality into making a decision. If you put them on the spot, they'll feel very uncomfortable. I've made this mistake myself a few times where I've asked a knowledge to be the first one to lead in a conversation. They're like, they don't feel comfortable because they're not confident. Once they're confident, then you can't shut them up. But until they really understand, then they're just not confident. So
we had to change our website because I was using green because I'm thinking green, like everybody loves the green and being green. And all we were attracting were the knowledge people, of course, not closing, right? So
totally. And when you think of green, that's like Excel spreadsheets. Excel uses green, right?
Yep.
So if you'd like, there's no cost to this and no pressure, but this is just a gift. You can go to knowyourcode.us. You can scan that with your QR code. Takes about 60 seconds. What you're going to do, and I'll put this in the chat too. I'm going to stop sharing just so you can see. I use these cards, and I actually carry them with me when I go out to networking events or to business meetings. And I'll hand the cards to somebody, and it's just the same codes I just showed you guys. And I'll say, do me a favor, read the information on these cards, and then sort the cards in order of what's most like you to least like you. That will help me serve you better and save us both time.
How does that work for you?
It's fantastic. I've never seen anything like it, because what happens is in about 60 seconds, they sort the cards and they hand them back to you. And then in the next 2 minutes, so 1 minute takes them about on average to sort the cards. In the next 2 minutes, I tell them who they are based on who they've told me they are, right? Oh, I see your high blueprint. You're all about the systems, the structures. You love the planning and the predictability. Is that right? And they're like, yeah. And next I see that you're nurturing, right? So you really love people. I'll tap them on the shoulder, right? Just give them a little, I see you really love people and that you're all about community and charity. Oh, that's so true for me, right? And what happens is in 3 minutes tops, the first minute they sort the cards, the next 2 minutes, I tell them who they've just told me they are. And in 3 minutes, I've built more rapport with that person than ever I've seen in any other way of entering into a conversation. And what's super cool is I really get to serve them, because I'll give you an example. My daughter and I are opposite codes. Okay, this is my bank code, nurturing, action, blueprint, knowledge. My daughter is the exact opposite. Now, she's at Texas A&M right now studying to be a neurosurgeon. Okay, she's a scientist. I would make statements that were 99% true. She would focus on the 1% that was not true, right? You getting this? And so I felt like she was judging me. I'm like, why don't we have the same relationship as we did when you were a little girl crawling up in my lap? And so I'm using this airy-fairy language, and she's just the facts man, right? And so it completely changed our relationship. Once I understood who she was born to be, like how she's wired, and I communicated to her in a way that really matched how she thinks about the world, now we're closer than ever. But it was all because of that system. So that was just one of the things I wanted to share with you. And I'd love to open it up for questions. If you guys have questions about referrals or bank, we can certainly get into HOA as well, Peggy, but just want to serve everybody by answering any questions that you have at this point.
That's great. That was so much fun too. Really fun. And we're having somebody come on in a few weeks to talk about bank also.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, good. Well, hope I didn't steal their thunder, but I'll put this in. Yeah,
it's very interesting. It's very interesting because that really is, how do you have a conversation with someone? And the more you know about that person and their personality, the easier it is to have that conversation. And to be able to move through those 4 phone calls or however those 4 touches are.
And if you think about it in your real estate investing business, right? Who do you want to hire as a property manager? Not this guy. You may want to hire them as your realtor, but you may need somebody with more blueprint in there, right? To actually take care of things, not just tell you how great it's going to be and not deliver. You got to have blueprint and knowledge in here. But the fact that you've got somebody else that's going to be teaching, let's just leave it at that for now, because they'll go into much greater detail than I will. I'm not a certified trainer. I'm just passionate about it because every one of us has a bank code. And I wish there were like some special glasses that I could wear that I could see exactly what your bank code was. Because if you could see what somebody was, then instantly you'd be able to connect with them and serve them better and save everyone time. Make sense?
Saving time makes money.
Oh, and funny is money too, isn't it?
Funny is money? How do you mean?
Funny is money. So like in a sales conversation, if you're funny and you can make your prospect laugh, the people that you're working with, they like you more, right, Peggy? It goes to that whole know, like, trust factor.
I agree 100% on that.
Even if they're a serious person?
Leave them laughing.
If you can make that serious person crack a smile, you want them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be hard to get that serious person to laugh. They might just think you're goofy and not listen to you.
It depends on the type of wit. My wife loves dry wit, right? So she loves people that are more knowledge personalities. They're so incredibly smart, right? That they have these witty repartees and they'll come back in a way that you've just never even thought of, and they just crack you up.
They do.
So
does anyone have any questions? I know Jamila got in a little late. So
if not, I'm happy to kind of walk you through, Peggy, what I shared on HOA.com, so you guys know what we're doing there. And if that serves you, then we can help you there. That'd be helpful.
I've got a question.
All right, guys. Yeah, go ahead.
So when you're handing out the bank cards to someone, which one of the 4 personality types is most resistant to actually completing it? And which one is the most reticent? So the knowledge is most resistant. Interesting.
It takes the knowledge the longest to do it. Okay. And what
are they reading both sides of it to make sure that it's congruent?
Well, the backside's just, there's nothing on the backside. But what it is knowledge personalities do not want to be wrong. Okay. So if you press them on an answer before they've done the research, they're not going to be comfortable, again, and confident answering your question. So with a knowledge personality, because the reality is you are all 4 codes, right? You have all 4 codes in you. The question is, what do you express first and foremost? The 3rd code is actually your stress code. So for me, I'm high in all 4 because we do an advanced assessment, but with the blueprint, in times of stress, I go into planning mode. I've got to create the plan, map everything out, and then I can go communicate to my team and lead them, but I can't take action until I've got a plan. The knowledge, though, they're going to take the longest to analyze the information, and then what they usually say is, this is like, I'm all of these. And then what I'll say is, you are, if you could only choose one, which card would it be? Now you're making it easy. Oh, okay, well, I'm that first. Okay, great. Now what's second? Right, so you make it easier for them and assist a little bit.
Is there a sentence or a word that each bank uses that you can tell right off that you're talking to? I mean, you can always tell the yappers the bread, right? Because they don't hush up. But is there Is there a way that you could tell that you're working with any of the, something that they say when you
Yeah,
meet
and,
them?
and there's a whole training. Like I'm not a certified trainer or a coach
Right.
for Codebreaker Tech, so I don't have a dog in that hunt. I'm just passionate. I believe every person on the planet needs to know their bank code. There's different words that they'll use,
Right.
right? If they're like, one of the words that we use with knowledge is fascinating. Isn't that interesting? Right? Oh, it is interesting. Yes, it is fascinating. And now you've got that endorphin rush that's going down their body. With a nurturing personality, you can usually see them smiling, right? They might give you a big hug, and you're like, I'm not a hugger. Maybe you're like, these people, you don't hug them. With the action, you give them a high five, right? With the nurturing, you can hug them. With the blueprint, what do you think they like? Handshake, handshake, right? It's still a connection, but it's a very formal, standardized way of meeting. And a knowledge personality will still shake your hand, but when it comes to a knowledge, you don't want to hug them or invade their personal space. So if they don't come up close to you, Peggy, then that's a good indicator that they may not be high nurturing, and you might want to respect the space.
Yeah, I've been with people where I'll be close. I can't remember exactly, but I'll approach them and they'll step back. And then I can't hear them, so I step closer and they step back. I can't hear you because they speak so softly. Another part of the knowledge people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Totally true. Well, I'm happy to share what we're doing at HOA.com. You'd asked me to come teach and train, so I wanted to share some things that I'm hopefully will make a difference and make your life better. Peggy, if you'd like, though, I'm happy to give a quick walkthrough of HOA.
Yeah, we have about 10, 12 minutes.
Okay, cool.
That's okay with you all. You didn't have any questions, so go for it, Brandon.
All right, sounds good. I will do my best, Peggy, to manage this without it. I know with yours, I'm a little fast on the trigger because we've got 10 minutes. Okay, so let me walk you through what we're doing in a way that lands for you and helps you see the future as we see it. I mentioned at the beginning with HOA.com, we're creating Home Advisor meets BNI. Home Advisor is connecting homeowners to certified pros they can trust. Everyone from your realtor, your insurance, your mortgage, and your financial planner to your blue collar guys, your painter, plumber, HVAC. Altogether, there's almost 8 million pros in the US that are in our target markets, so that's what we're focused on. Now, everyone said at the beginning, you thought this was about homeowner associations, and it is. It's just phase 3 in our business plan, okay? Phase 1 is about building the pro network, which is where we're at right now, and we're starting to engage the homeowners, which is phase 2, and I'll show you what we're doing there in a second. But with the HOA.com domain, we're creating community portal pages for the 351,000 plus homeowner associations in the US. Over half of all homeowners in America live in an HOA, so it's a massive market. What we're doing though is we're creating pages, and you can kind of think of this like Nextdoor, except it's a web portal page that's all about the community. And I'll show you the mobile app we're building in a second. But not only does it have the information about that community for people that are thinking about buying into that community, for the homeowners, it's got all of the trusted pros that they need to, and they want to hire, right? All the folks that we just talked about. We're building out our mobile app. Now, this is a 2023 program. We just did a partnership with a company called Home Scout, where we're integrating real estate search into our platform. We'll have about 93% of all homes that are listed in America will be on HOA.com. The mobile app that we're building will have everything about your home in one location. The Home Safe Report is like the Carfax for your home, everything about the property. Of course, the HOA information as well, the certified pros, and then the events that are happening in the community. And that's really important to us because, again, I'm high nurturing. You're going to see that in a second. For the pros, what we do is we create a profile page for them on HOA.com. So it's a directory People are searching for pros that they can hire for different services. And when they go on there, then they can fill out this form or call the number to connect with that pro. Now, this is where we're a little different than a home advisor. With Home Advisor, if you fill out the form on their website, they're going to sell that lead to 3, 5, even 7 different companies who are just going to call and bombard you with phone, text, and email trying to win your business. We're in partnership with our pros, so if you fill out a form or call that pro directly, it's going just to that company. The way we get paid and generate money is that the pros pay us just $30 a month. It's a total no-brainer. We do have some that want more business, and so they upgrade to our Expert or Premier Pro program, paying $99 to $249 a month for more credibility and visibility. We create social media graphics for them. We ghostwrite blog articles for them and do a bunch of other stuff to help them grow their business. One of the other ways we make money is that we do a digital marketing analysis and help people see how Google views their business, and we show them all the gaps in their digital marketing, and then we have services where we support them if they need to improve any of those aspects. And then we have premier or preferred partners and JV partners that we'll work with on an individual basis. But how we're building this out is largely about community impact. So every month we're creating community impact campaigns. We just finished Father's Day, what we called an Amazing Dads campaign. We've got 4th of July coming up, and then we're doing Hire a Veteran on July 25th. And so every month we're creating these turnkey campaigns that our realtors and other pros can use to help spread goodwill in their community with their tribe, and then also to make a difference and stay top of mind, right? Now we have a call center, so our agents actually reach out to people. This is number one, an inbound concierge service. So if somebody needs help with something, they can call us up and we're gonna get them connected to a pro they can trust. But really our call center focuses on network activation. What that means is when a new pro joins our referral network, the first thing that we do is we ask them who do they know, like, and trust and want to build a referral partnership with. Okay, so again, I was in the mortgage business. So for me, that was realtors. I got business from insurance agents, financial planners, attorneys, accountants, as well as all of the home services pros, the painter, the plumber, and so forth, right? So they give us their list and say, these are the people that we want to be partners with. And then we invite those people out to what we call business alliance meetings. This is like your BNI chapter. We help people actually create their own trusted team and invite people that they want to build raving referrals with and referral partnerships. And we're kind of the back office to help call those people up and manage their referral partnerships. Lastly, we do have a 2-tier affiliate program. So we pay out on the people that introduce pros into our network. We pay out 20% first level and 10% second level. So it's not MLM, it's 2-tier affiliate. But we believe the best way to motivate is to compensate. And so we actually pay out lifetime commissions. So when folks bring people to us one time, they get paid month after month after month. So that's what we're doing. Any questions from anyone?
Did you all understand? That's the first question.
Yeah.
I know Dan just got here, but yeah.
I loved it. This is huge. What you
Yeah.
what you're building.
What's huge about it, Fernando?
Well, I had no idea that 350,000 was a number for HOAs. So that's one. So that's a niche that, I mean, it seems like a blue ocean in even though it's so like half of the people live in HOAs, but just it's a way of positioning that's new. And I'm very excited for you, Brandon.
Thank you.
Yeah, and being of service, which Brandon's all about being of service. And then all the people he's bringing in are of service.
I tell my team, our job is to help people help people. That is exactly what we do. Our job is to help people help more people, which what could be better than that for a nurturer, right?
Right.
Do you
Right.
want me to show you? I just got a video back, and this is first draft. I haven't shared this even with my team yet. Peggy, do you want to see it? Let me share
Sure.
it.
You know,
It's-
I'm surprised Alvin hasn't had a question because he's always a curious young man. So yeah, go ahead.
Let me share
show.
this with you. It's 57 seconds, and let's. Hopefully, you guys can hear the audio.
We believe that home is where the heart is and that family matters most. We believe our neighborhood is a special place to raise our kids and live our best lives. We believe in playing outside and letting the sun recharge our soul. We believe in helping our neighbors and celebrating success together. We believe that trust is earned and that quality is job one. We believe in getting the job done right the first time, every time. That's why at HOA.com, we are a community of champions for homeowners. Our network of certified pros has been pre-screened so you can hire with confidence. Rest assured, your HOA.com certified pro will help make your home your castle.
Very nice. Does anyone have any questions for Brandon? You know, he's very excited about this. It's just launching. So, you know, when you're beginning something, there's all that excitement around it. Yes, Gary, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Sorry, I was on an active shooter video webinar, actually put out by my HOA. And Brandon, I'd love to speak with you in the future. I will watch the video first. I'm the president of an HOA here in Calabasas and on the Los Angeles board and the national CAI board. So I really apologize for missing today.
I did give you guys an introduction to each other, what, a month or so ago.
Then I apologize if I missed it. Brandon, I will call you.
Okay, sounds good.
And I did too.
Yes.
You had a double whammy for me and Peggy. Gary.
Because we care about you guys.
Well,
We think that you guys would be a good partnership and learn a lot from each other.
Well, maybe I reached out on email and we haven't connected yet. I'm not sure, but I've been very busy doing, launching my tomatoes product and a lot of other things. So I do apologize.
It's all right. I did it through LinkedIn, I believe.
Gary, I just put my calendar link in chat. So if you want to click on that, choose a time. I'd love to connect with you. If there's anybody else that wants to connect one-on-one, I'm happy to do that as well.
Yeah, I think, Gary, you're like me, that sometimes it's like you did the one action of responding to the email after the induction, and then it goes, because you wait for it to come back to you to like remind you again.
Yeah, I actually like the way Gmail now says nobody's responded in 5 days.
I know that is interesting.
It is
I like
helpful.
it too.
Awesome.
Yes.
Gary, I look forward to connecting with you. Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Cliff, you have a question?
I actually have two. So the first
Good.
one, was that you sitting at the table toasting everyone
In the video?
in the video?
No, it wasn't.
It looked like you from the profile.
You know what's crazy is I recorded that audio last night. I sent that to my designer last night. We have a full-time video guy. I sent that to him last night this morning at 12:29 a.m. And he got that back to me at 1:25 p.m. today. So 12 hours and I've got a video. Crazy.
Great turnaround.
Wonderful. And your other question?
Your second question.
My other question is, so this almost sounds like it's competing to a degree to Angie's List, is it?
Absolutely.
All right, and Angie's List has some not so favorable terms for people who use them. So I was looking at your pricing structure and how you do that, and you know, I have some professionals that I can recommend to your service because they hate Angie's List because of the way they charge.
Yeah.
And Home Advisor sucks too.
Well, and just so you guys know, it's one company. Home Advisor and Angie's List is the same company.
Oh, I didn't know
no
that.
wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You can go to HOA.com/win. That's our referral partner program, Cliff. So again, we pay 2-tier lifetime revenue, rev share. So go to hoa.com/win, sign up, and then, yeah, let's talk. Our team will actually do an onboarding with you, even as a referral partner. I know you're not used to that as an affiliate, but we value partnership, right? So you'll have an onboarding with our team, and we'll talk about how we can make more money together.
I love it.
Great. Alvin, hello. We
Ma'am.
see you now.
Hi.
You have any
How's everybody doing?
questions?
Well, yeah, I did. I actually wanted to get his contact information and just, kind of make a comment about the fact that, as for myself, I have a team that I'm working with, an acquisition team that I'm working with. And through them, I met some other investors, one guy in particular who's out of Atlanta, that kind of has the same plan that I developed a couple of years ago, which is like a buy back the block sort of plan to, if you will, more or less just to kind of fight gentrification in a lot of the major cities around America, because of the fact that unfortunately, racism still plays a part in how business is conducted in certain areas. So we kind of theorize that if you set up a program for people to be able to buy back their homes, and you have an entire community that now, instead of renting, owns their property, that you would start seeing a change, not only economically and with the wealth gap, but also with the fact that now you've got more invested in keeping your community clean and the values higher. And so through that process, I never thought about it until I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, why didn't any of us ever, in all the process of talking about all this, nobody ever brought up the fact that we probably should have a homeowners association involved. And this looks like a really good idea that you guys came up with as a method to bridge neighborhoods together, even neighborhoods that don't have homeowners associations established. It would be a tool to use to do that. But not only that, be able to promote economic exchange within a certain community. Because a lot of times, when you find a lot of these inner cities don't have a lot of employment going on because, of where certain major employers are placed. And so that leaves the people that are living there in limbo as far as how to, find a viable job. And so this would be another method to employ along with that idea to help bridge those gaps. And so I would definitely love to talk to you a little bit further, and share with you some of the things that we're working on and some of the ideas that are being tossed around. We're kind of in our infant stage, but like I said, I've met other investors who have the same idea, and they're in certain stages of the game with their projects as well. So but yeah, it's a great idea. Great idea.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, love to connect.
Yeah, so download the save chat. If you all know how to go to the 3 dots over where the chat is and save the chat. He put his information in there so you could set up a time to speak with him, or you could go to the website and look at that and do some research. So thank you, Alvin. That was really great. Really great. It's nice to hear somebody is out there making a difference in communities that need a difference made. So Brandon, thank you so very much for coming on. It's just been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful presentation. We're so happy you came. I hope you'll come back again sometime soon.
My pleasure, my honor. Thank you guys all for taking the time and listening to what we're doing. And hopefully you can take the raving referrals piece and the bank code part and actually implement that and make a difference in your lives immediately.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.